I start going nuts and I'm fist bumping and high fiving people and all the things. Had no idea what I won. And the gentleman that runs DGAP, Adam Gardner, comes up, gives me a huge high five, and he goes, "You're gonna love this."
G'day guys, and welcome back to the Fully Equipped podcast. Kris, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah?
This is spooky day.
Spooky day,
It's officially Halloween.
or as my wife likes to call it, her birthday.
Her birthday.
Yeah.
Spooky day.
Sure.
It's Halloween. It's
Yeah.
Halloween. I'm excited to be more of a fat kid this evening and consume all of the candy.
Yep.
Oh, that's my primary goal this evening. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm living someone's dream. My wife got a cup of coffee and presents this morning, so she's happy. And we're getting ready to do the Halloween thing as a family. We're dressing as we've got a bit of a theme going on. We're doing a Goonies theme. So
Nice.
I'm going as Brand. Andrea is going as Andy. Enzo is Mike, and Sonny is Chunk. And
Love
then
that.
we've got my mum in town from Australia, and she's going as Mama Fratelli.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it should be a good fun night. She's never done Halloween in America, and it's very different over here to what it is in Australia. We don't really give two shits about it in Australia.
Fair enough.
So it should be a lot of fun. And some exciting news. I passed my citizenship test on Monday. So
Official.
I'm officially an American. I get sworn in next week. That's when it'll be official. But I passed the test. I was studying my ass off all weekend.
I can only imagine.
I had to memorize 100 questions and 100 answers. I know way too much about America than I ever thought I would ever know. I know more about America than I know about Australia history, I want to say. But other
Good
than
for
that,
you.
Other than that, man, I'm doing good. Life's good, starting to get cooler here, and I'm happy.
Going back to the family thing,
Yeah.
I have to know. So you have a little guy dressing up as Chunk.
Yeah, he's going to do the truffle shuffle.
Yes. That's exactly where we were going.
That's why we watched Goonies the other week, and he was like, I want to do the truffle shuffle.
Have to.
And he has to.
You have to. Yeah.
But
Trick or
he's-
treat, truffle shuffle.
And Sonny Bunny's my little chunk, so that makes sense.
That's fantastic.
But
I love
you had
everything about that.
But you had a pretty exciting time recently. Last week we were talking about the show that you were going to this swag event.
Yes.
So you've recently got back from that swag event, hence why you're wearing that swag hoodie. That's why you've got that shit-eating grin on your face.
Yes.
That's why we've got these garbage bags here, as producer Mark likes to call them.
Indeed. I've got my shelf of Halloween themed head covers going.
Of spookiness going on that says swag and ha 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 and all that fun stuff.
Buddy, I'm all in.
Trust me, I know. So you don't need to sell me on that. So why don't you tell me a little, tell us about this trip, because you were pretty excited about it. You're going to Payne's Valley, right?
Yeah. Went to Big Cedar Lodge.
Yep.
And played Payne's Valley, Buffalo Ridge. Played both of the par 3 courses. I have to say, huge shout out to Big Cedar.
Yeah.
They do it right.
Nice.
So if you haven't had an opportunity to check this place out, I mean, they are turning it into a destination. I mean, it is phenomenal. Turf conditions are great. Layouts are a lot of fun. Hospitality's fantastic. And it's just a great time. And that's, swag aside, the property itself, awesome. It is. It's definitely worth checking out.
Did you stay on the property?
We did. We stayed.
Do you have to stay on the property?
No, you don't have to
Okay.
stay on the property. So it's fully public, and you can access all of the golf courses they have. They've got 2 par 3s. They've got 3 big championship courses that are very, very unique and different layouts, with Payne's Valley being kind of the one that's touted as the one to play. Tiger Woods design, one of the only public Tiger Woods designs that's out there.
Did you play the 19th par 3?
Have to.
How was it?
It's such a cool experience.
Did you hit the green?
I did hit the green.
Okay.
I did hit the green. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. By the time I got up there, we were one of the last groups coming in, and there was quite the gallery. And there was the whole member from DGAP, which is Swag's tour department, and kind of their concierge team, their events team, their social and content people were all up there. And then a bunch of people from the event had just been drinking all day and gathered in this huge horseshoe around the 19th hole, cheering and booing appropriately, of course. And it was windy. So
Okay.
there was a pretty good wind coming into us.
What was the distance? Do you remember?
I do. It was 118.
Okay.
And
So like a little gap wedge or a flighted pitching wedge?
Well, I was between 54 and 50.
Okay.
So adrenaline's obviously going. I elected to go 54, taking it off the tee anyway. So hit it a little higher on the face, knock some spin down. So I'm going commit 54, full swing. Let's just send it. And hit it to about 12 feet. And nice. I was pretty stoked. But
That's
it
awesome.
is.
Did you make the putt?
No.
So it doesn't count.
No.
Yep. Cool.
Solid par. And I was stoked about it. But.
Sounds like a sucky part of me.
You don't know shit. You weren't there. You don't know. Experience was awesome. And I have to say, I do have my collection of garbage bags because I want you to do what is kind of tradition in the swag community is you were talking about Vegemite. And
yeah.
I'm a little disappointed there's no Vegemite here today. I got to tell you.
I didn't think you were ready for it yet. I thought we'd wait another week. I wanted you to have another week just to process what you're about to do.
Okay, fair.
Because here's the deal. To me, Vegemite is great.
The amount of people that have reached out and told me, don't do it. Whatever he tells you, you're already in on the Hulk Hogan haircut. If he tries to get you to do the Vegemite thing, don't do it. But
they're all liars and they're not friends of yours, and I think you should stop talking to them.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I apologize to everybody that reached out and told me to just avoid this stuff like the plague. I have a sneaky suspicion I'm going to try it and I'm going to hate it. So there's going to be a bucket.
I bet
reserve.
you a swag head cover, you will like it.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. So what we do in the community is the sniff test.
Okay.
So what I have here, this is a brand new head cover design that they launched at this big cedar event. This is a real deal. Okay. So real deal is the material is real leather, real alligator. So the retail on these things is stupid,
right?
But the secondary market is even more ridiculous. But these things, brand new bison leather.
All right.
So they made it out of bison leather.
Okay.
And then obviously has the gator. So this guy, super, super cool. All of them were very, very unique in their design.
So did you have to buy this at the event or did they give it to you?
No, those we had to pay for.
Okay.
But give that guy a little sniff test.
It smells like pure leather. It smells like a cowboy boot store.
Exactly what I thought. I picked this thing up and I was just like, holy shit. This is like walking into Boot Barn and picking up a brand new pair of boots. I mean, smell on it. I can't wait to put these in my office at home.
So it smells like rich mahogany?
Yeah, absolutely. But this thing...
My hand's clean, by the way.
And I wasn't worried. When I picked this thing up and I'm going, wow, okay, so this is super, super cool. Me being a swag collector, being a huge head cover nerd, this was awesome. But I've got a couple of different samples of those that nice. I picked up. And then, of course, you got to be matchy-matchy, as you know, in your fashionista lifestyle. I have this one that also matches.
I just want to say, I love how much you take pride in this stuff. And we all know I'm a sneaker guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then you walk in today with those bloody Brooks on your feet.
I do.
And they are... Were they prescribed to you?
Yes. I did a shoe fitting. And I've got back issues, knee issues, hip issues. I'm a 42-year-old, 75-year-old.
You've got shoe issues, okay? So you need to start looking at what you're doing with the swag world and turn around and put that in your footwear game.
I mean, I'll take your tutelage.
All right, next week he's not going to wear those Brooks, guys, I promise you. But you did something exciting did happen for you at the tournament. So even though you missed that putt on the 19th.
Yeah, I missed the 19th.
You did make a putt somewhere else, and you were the only one to make the putt.
Only one to make the putt.
Which granted you what now?
So this...
I got this text message last night from him about what happened, and I'm still very amazed at A, what the value of this cover is, and then B, what it's made of, and then C, that you're the one that won it. That's so cool. But anyway, tell your story. I'm sorry.
So I have to set the stage here. And the way that I'm going to do that is by starting off saying this was by far the coolest golf experience and the best golf shot that I've ever hit. Oh, I've made 2 hole-in-ones. I've played with a bunch of celebrities and professional athletes and things like that. And the pure joy and excitement that I felt making this putt, dude, I was so stoked. And of course, as luck should have it, and just, fate, the social team was changing the battery in the drone when I made the putt.
It didn't get recorded?
It's not on camera.
Oh, no.
Oh, no video of it going in. No video of the celebration and the excitement and like my coolest golf moment. and nobody got it on video.
That sucks.
So bummed.
But you got something out. So how long was the putt?
So every time I tell the story, I add 10 feet. So
Okay.
at this point, we're up to about 180 feet.
Okay, so you've told the story 18 times. So it's a 10-foot putt.
So when you go to Big Cedar, they have a huge practice green outside of the golf shop by Payne's Valley where you check in. And this putting surface is absolutely massive. They do a putting course, 18-hole putting course on this putting green. And the putt that they had set up, they had head covers all over the green. And the shortest one was probably about 20 feet.
Okay.
So this one was realistically, if I had to guess, somewhere between 70 and 80 feet. But this putting green, I mean, there are dead elephants buried all over this thing.
Yep.
There are so many breaks and slopes and undulations and things. So my thought process with this, I'm going to be honest, and I wasn't intending to hit this head cover. So they had these in the very back of the putting challenge, and there was 4 of them, each of them one of one, and they were on the posts in the actual cups. Now, between where you start and these head covers were a whole bunch of different other head covers scattered all over the green. And whatever you hit, you got to keep. So down the right side was a couple of mallet head covers, me being a mallet collector, that I was really interested in. So I kind of had a 2-part thought process. I was going to line my putt up for this mallet that I wanted, and it was kind of right on the crest of a hill with the cover that I ended up getting just beyond it on the same line. So I'm going, okay, I'm going to go for this mallet. I'm going to give it enough pace to where if I do miss it or it kind of rolls through the break before it gets to the mallet, I have a chance at this head cover that I ended up winning. So I hit the putt, firmed it, didn't take the break, completely whiffed on the mallet. It takes about a 20-foot swing towards what I had to guess is probably in all reality somewhere about a 60, 70-foot putt. Takes about a 20-foot swing down this hill, and just about the time that it rolls into the cup, it was like the iconic Tiger chip, better than most.
Yep.
It's just half a revolution and then falls in. And everybody went absolutely crazy.
So you accidentally won this putter.
I accidentally won this putter.
I mean,
this head cover.
won this head cover.
And so I start going nuts, and I'm fist bumping and high-fiving people and all the things. Had no idea what I won. And the gentleman that runs DGAP, Adam Gardner, comes up, gives me a huge high five, and he goes, "You're going to love this." And the sun was right in our eyes, so we could see like the silhouettes, and we could see that they were all driver covers, but couldn't really tell. They wouldn't let anybody get close to see them. So one of the members of the swag team brings this up to me, and had no idea what it was until it was about 10 feet away from me. And it is a one of one, as you would imagine.
Yep.
Louis Vuitton script driver that is Louis Vuitton leather and alligator.
Very cool.
So
it looks great. I love it.
It's definitely like the crown
it's
jewel.
It's a showpiece. It's not something you'd put on your bag.
I might game it.
You can do whatever you want, but that definitely looks like a showpiece to me, not something you'd put on your bag.
So, any guess on the value of this thing?
I'm not going to guess because you've already told me, and I'd much prefer you to tell everyone in shock and awe rather than make me look like I know what I'm talking about.
That's fair. So, as soon as I made the putt, before I even walked off the green, I was offered $8,000 for this cover. And other collectors, being one of one, it's all speculation, right? It's
Right.
all
It's a
subjective.
commodity.
Yeah, 100%. But I was told, do not let this go for anything less than $10,000.
That's crazy.
And for the right collector, this could potentially be a $15,000 head cover.
It's a head cover. It's
a
crazy.
head cover,
That's
right?
Crazy. I know it's got authentic Louis Vuitton and all of that kind of stuff in it, but
So that is going to be
that is gnarly.
the crown jewel for the collection.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm glad you had a
Thank
really
you.
good
Thank
trip,
you.
man. I'm glad you had a really good trip.
It was great, man. I mean, it was such a great experience. But I mean, we've got a few topics that we've got to talk about, and we have.
Before we get into those topics, though, and we're talking about trips, we should talk about a new sponsor.
I was going to say, we got a new sponsor coming to the show.
We do.
We got to talk about that.
The company is called On Location.
On Location.
And basically what they do is they allow you to go onto their app and buy tickets for events.
Yeah.
So they're partnering with us to do some kind of a discount for them. So the Ryder Cup's coming up. Do you want to go to the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black? Probably. So you should use On Location to get that. And if you use the code EQUIPPED, you'll get 10% off. So really cool opportunity, really cool product. I think when it comes down to it, is everyone's got their ticketing system now. And if you are struggling to get anywhere and you want to go somewhere, the On Location app is something that's going to really help you out, and use the code EQUIPPED and get 10% off.
I love that. And it's a one-stop shop. I mean, you've got basically full travel packages, hotel, transportation, event tickets, and anything and everything that you could possibly want to do with an event. On Location's got you set up, and they are ready to party when you are.
100%.
Oh,
Don't forget to use the code EQUIPPED to get 10% off.
Have to use EQUIPPED to get the extra 10%.
And then in that, we've got a tournament that played over the weekend. You were out and about frolicking with all of your head covers that smell like bison leather. And I was studying for my citizenship test and learning all about American history, and that the Declaration of Independence was done in July 4th, 1776.
Yes, sir.
And while we're doing that, Nico's making millions of dollars. He's a PXG guy, so he plays PXG in irons and wedges. He plays the CBs in the irons, and he also plays the Sugar Daddy 3s in the wedges.
Oh,
right.
Sugar Daddies.
So they're the new wedges that have just came out from them. Which when I was at PXG, they only had full face, and I couldn't stand full face, so they've gone away from full face. I think the BP grind is now the only one with full face in it. But he plays the CBs, which is honestly a really great iron.
Iron.
The 0317 CB that PXG has made. When I was at PXG, that was the iron that I played. And then he plays Ping at the top of the bag.
Ping at the top of the bag.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, what putter does he play? I can't remember what putter he's got in the bag. Probably an Odyssey or something like that. But if he doesn't have an Odyssey, I apologize. Mark, what putter?
Odyssey Tryhot 5K7.
Odyssey Tryhot 5K7. I was bloody close.
Close. Odyssey.
I guessed
nailed the brand.
I guessed it. I mean, everything they say is the number one putter in golf. So,
I mean, that's you got a good opportunity there.
You throw something at a board, it's going to stick with Odyssey. However, he won the tournament. He did really, really well. I think when it comes down to it, this is the part of the season that is you're going to see guys that don't usually win.
Yeah, with the wraparound season, it kind of gives the guys that aren't the marquee players per se opportunity of getting out there, make some changes, get settled in with the tour life, and potentially get some wins. One thing that I do want to talk about is Titleist launches brand new golf ball.
Yep,
already has a win.
It's pretty cool.
So he was playing the brand new Titleist 2025 Pro V1X, which I just got home last night and had a couple of white boxes waiting for me.
Very cool.
I know you have some en route.
Yeah, I've got to give him my address. I keep forgetting to do that.
Oh, when we get those, we got to test them.
Right.
I mean, we got to come up with something cool to test new golf ball, right?
100%.
I mean, that's arguably next to grips. Golf ball is potentially the most important piece of equipment that you have in your bag. And if we are looking at what Nico was rocking and being able to come up with a W with new golf ball, I mean, after it's only been on tour for a couple of weeks, that says quite a bit about that golf ball.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, is Titleist going to release something that's not going to work?
I mean, of course not.
Right.
Of course not. They test these things for, I can't even imagine how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of shots get hit with a golf ball in addition to player testing before they actually come to market. We got a little bit of other tour news out there, right?
Yep.
So we got Ben and U505 one iron in the bag.
Yeah.
Now, how many players do you hear about actually still playing a one iron?
Yeah, it's an interesting topic to talk about, and I think it kind of lends itself into like a segment you and I have been talking about, which is is this a trend or is this here to stay?
Yeah,
and something that at the top of the bag, obviously driver isn't going anywhere. Driver is a mainstay, but if we go back like 5-6 years, the driving iron was so important in the professionals bag that it would very rare that you would not see one in there. It was usually like they had a 3-wood and a driving iron.
Right.
That's kind of made a bit of a turn where driving iron is pretty non-existent on tour. And I mean, that's why it's a topic is Ben Ahn. Won on the DP World Tour, but he didn't have a 3-iron in the bag. He only had a driving iron sitting in there. But you're starting to see all these people go to 7-wood, 5-wood, get rid of the 3-wood, not have a driving iron, or add a mini driver to their bag.
Right.
So the topic of this is trend or here to stay is this something that we generally think is going to now come back in vogue? Are we going to start seeing more and more people put a driving iron back in their bag and go away from a 3-wood or go away from a 5-wood? Where do you see that kind of playing in when it comes to tour?
So tour is kind of a different animal. I mean, the conditions that they play on, the speeds that those players have, you see more and more of that 7-wood, high lofted fairway wood being added to the bag, and their set composition compared to the average amateur is really, really interesting. I mean, they have the speed, the skill to have a full 14 club kit, right? And when I'm talking set composition with the majority of players that we see in a fitting environment, it's basically like practical application. Like if I'm looking at what's in the top of the bag, I'm looking at those as being more proximity clubs. I mean, very rarely is the average amateur player going to go pin hunting outside of about 160, 170 yards. And that's potentially even being generous for the amateur golfer, right? So, I mean, I love the idea of creating a very sound and comfortable lower end of the bag to offer itself to more full swing options. And then as you transition into the top of the bag, that's where it's every club has to have a purpose for proximity. So,
and when you say a proximity, you're saying proximity of landing, or are you saying proximity of yardage going out?
I'm talking about proximity of like going back to, you're not going to go pen hunting from 230 yards.
Not
But
with that attitude, but yeah.
I have a pretty pessimistic attitude. Let's just be honest. For me, like that 230 number is a perfect heavenwood. So a 20-degree lofted fairway wood.
You say heavenwood?
Heavenwood, yes.
What is a heavenwood?
Heavenwood is
Like you just hit it sky high? Is that what that means?
No, it's a 20-degree lofted fairway wood option offered by Callaway.
It's actually called the heavenwood?
It's actually called the heavenwood.
Is it from the 80s? Like, is it?
No, it's an AI smoke heavenwood.
Mark, have you heard of a heavenwood? Can you just fact check this? Because I think he's making shit up.
No, same length as a 3-wood.
Okay.
But it is 20 degrees aloft, and it's a much larger footprint than a traditional size 7-wood. Okay. So for me, low launch, low spin guy, I like that 20 degrees aloft. I like the fact that it's going to play similar.
Mark fact checks.
Oh, what do we got?
He is in no way making this up. There are tons of search results for different heavenwoods out there. So, Kris, proceed.
I mean, I appreciate that you fact check the gear guy. Oh, and you as president of Fairway Jockey, I'm just.
It sounds made up.
That's fair. That's fair.
Please keep going.
So
with your heavenwood.
With my heavenwood.
And I'll talk about the not heavenwood.
The not heavenwood. For me, my set composition, I stop at 4-iron. 4-iron for me is around that 210 carry number. And the landing angle that 4-iron comes in, I don't typically hit it into a green unless it's off of a tee.
Yeah.
Or unless the front portion of the green is pretty open.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, going back on whether this is a bit of a trend or not, I think what I'm noticing about tour is everything is kind of a cyclical cycle. It's going to go around and around and around. I do think, though, it's important for people out there when they're trying to pick what to do is pick what's right for them. And I would dare say that it always makes sense to have, at the top of the bag, always kind of makes sense to have a couple of different things. I know for me, I play driver, mini driver, driving iron. I'm not a woods guy. I'm not a heavenwood guy either.
Fair.
Prior to getting the mini driver, I had the UW.
Yeah.
Right, from Callaway. That's a real club too.
No, you had the
way.
UW from Kris McCormack.
I had the one that you couldn't play because it was too stiff.
Yes.
But too stout, I think, is what was said to me. I stole that after I stole your office. But
salt in the wound.
I just think it's important. I think it's important for people to also just realize that pros will make a change all the time because when it comes down to it, the numbers aren't going to really vary that much for them. Going from a driving iron to a wood, they might just feel more comfortable with an iron in their hand.
Sure.
So if you're seeing a trend on tour, it doesn't mean that it's always right for your game. So make sure that you're doing what's right for you. I'm a driving iron guy. I much prefer to hit irons. I would much prefer to hit a 2 iron, a 3 iron, 4 iron, 5 iron, all of that, rather than hit hybrids or rather than hit woods.
That's
I would
fair.
choose that every time just because I like the look of it, and ball contact has never been an issue. And I find it harder to control a wood personally.
Makes sense. I mean, for me, I get into my left side pretty hard, pretty fast.
Yeah.
And just kind of go lead hand, knuckle down, de-loft everything. So stuff comes out low left for me. The longer irons for me, I prefer the look. I prefer the feel. But I mean, as far as playability goes, I just have no business trying to play something that is stronger lofted than about 21, 22 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's something when it comes to application, what do you want it to do for you?
No, that makes sense. But what I would say, so my take on it would be, I think this is a trend. I think everything you're going to see on tour is a trend outside of like driver and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's a trend. I don't see this as something that's going to stay forever and the 3 wood's going to be gone and the 5 wood's going to be gone, the 7 wood's going to be gone. I see this as a trend. So I do think we're going to see a lot more people play a driving iron. But then in a couple of years, I see people going away from it and going to something different. So
It could be a category that hasn't even been created yet.
Correct. Like the Heavenwood.
Like the
Speaking of
Heavenwood.
Heaven, though, one of our other sponsors, Nikon. And look, we both played the rangefinder. We think it's a great rangefinder. The scope in it's probably one of the best scopes I've ever utilized, which it should be because it's Nikon and they're known for their scopes through cameras and what have you. But the stabilization mechanism in it, I think, is very, very on point. It hits my yardages. And the other thing I really like about this rangefinder is the modes. So if you are wanting to go into different modes and do different things, some people like to get the yardage and then get the adjusted number and then calculate themselves what they want to do. You can do that if you just want to get the all-in number. So that way it says 110. If it's 100 yards with 10 yards up, you can get 110. It's really up to you. But all in all, I think the Nikon is a really, really great rangefinder. And if you are in the market for a new one, I highly recommend going to check it out. They're available at Nikon, but they're also available at fairwayjockey.com. So go check out Nikon. I love mine, and I think you'd love yours as well if you grabbed one.
Same. I've had it in the bag for a few months now and definitely happy with it.
There you go. So tomorrow we are off to Payne.
We get to go to the Payne Proving Grounds.
Yep.
And we
I
get
was
to
called the stomping ground for some reason.
stomping.
I don't know why, but yeah, the Proving Ground.
Proving Ground.
Which honestly, I went last year and was it. If I worked at Ping, I would not get any work done. I would just be constantly playing.
It's Disneyland.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
It's pretty cool. And I'm assuming this is what it's going to be like with all the other OEMs when we go to Carlsbad and what have you. But it's great. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about our trip tomorrow. What do we? It's not a trip. It's 15 minutes down the bloody road. But
They're right in the backyard.
right. So
good neighbors.
But what are we going there? We're going there to do some testing for their new products that are coming out.
Doing some testing. We can't disclose the name of new product yet.
No,
But
it says. But I will say this: it starts with Ping.
starts with Ping.
That I can guarantee.
That's a hot
that we
take,
can
yeah.
say. The
That we
NDA
can.
will allow me to say that.
It is the
Starts with
Ping new product.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, we're gonna do a little Q&A.
Yep.
We're gonna have some interview opportunities to talk about new tech being incorporated in the new Ping golf clubs, and also some fitting philosophies going through full bag fitting opportunities with some of the Ping master fitters out in the proving grounds. And then also you get to go through a putter experience.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. We get to go through a putter. I get to go through a putter experience.
I get to watch.
and he gets to watch, which we all know he likes to watch.
Absolutely.
So I get to go through that and really understand what their putter fitting philosophy looks like, and I'm really excited for it because I've done putter fittings before, and the biggest thing I take out of my putter fittings is more about what kind of neck I like to look at, what kind of shape head I like to look at, and then what gets me to square at impact best.
Sure.
Not really caring about the distances and what have you, just more looking at those metrics. So I'm interested to see what they do because I know they do something very different because they've got like that marble top and they look at more at consistency metrics versus anything else versus square and what have you, I think. But, or am I wrong?
I don't want to give too much away.
Okay, so but I have been down there before, and I have done it, but I have not done a fitting. It was more just the new PLD stuff that came out at the start of this year, just hitting those and seeing what they felt like.
Sure.
But really excited about that, and I think something that's going to be really cool as well is, not only am I going to get this opportunity, but something that I've partnered with Ping on is we are going to be doing a giveaway for this experience through Fairway Jockey also. So this isn't a plug for Fairway Jockey or anything. We've just had a really good year, and I was working with one of my biggest OEMs, and they helped partner with us on this. And so I'm just going to pick one of my lucky customers on Fairway Jockey, and you are going to be able to take part in this one day early next year as well. So
very, very cool.
So I think that's really, really cool. But yeah, I'm excited to give it a go. I'm just excited to see what putter they put me into.
Oh, I'm curious what they come up with for you, because you are a putter collector of sorts.
It's either a putter collector or I'm just a psychopath when it comes to putting, and I believe that if I change my putter, it should change my opportunities on the green, and it hasn't yet.
Oh, we've had in previous segments on the pod, we've talked about my timeout closet.
Yep.
And I have a rotation of putters that I will go through. And that rotation, basically, when it's not in the bag, it lives in the timeout closet.
Fair.
And if I start putting poorly or missing what I would normally expect to make for my skill level, it goes in the timeout closet, and something else comes out that has, a shape or an optic or a little different feel, maybe different grip or something along those lines. But when you go through this Ping experience tomorrow, I'm curious what you come out with. And then also, would you say you're a good putter? How confident are you in your putting abilities?
I would say I'm a good putter, not a great putter. I would say that I'm down to a 2-3 handicap right now, and I think the thing keeping me away from being a scratch golfer is my putting.
Okay, that's fair. They have a ranking system, a leaderboard per se, and the best that I've ever done on the leaderboard at Ping was the projected index for my putting ability was a plus 1.3.
So when I did it, I think it was earlier this year, I don't remember. When I did it just with the new PLD line, I was a plus 2.5 or a plus 2.25, something like that.
And you say that putting is keeping you from being.
So I don't think my stroke is an issue. My stroke isn't an issue. I think green reading is an issue.
Green reading is an issue.
So I think green reading, and I'm trying to learn aim point right now so that I can get better at it. I think it's green reading, and I think it's also because I don't play tournaments. I'm just playing with mates and stuff, so I don't really take the time to truly read my putts. But it's green reading. And then I really do have I go back and forth whether I should use the line on the ball or not.
Okay.
So right now I'm going through a phase of not using the line on the ball, and I felt free and I was putting really well, and now I'm not putting well again. So now I'm thinking about going back to the line on the ball. But no, I would say my stroke is really, I think I've got a really good stroke. I just can't read for shit. I'm illiterate when it comes to when I get on the green.
That's kind of an interesting observation of like your own assessment.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Arizona is also the hardest place in the world to learn how to read a green. Because whenever I'm not here, I find I read greens better. Because I'll be somewhere and I'll be like, how did that turn left? And then a mate of mine will go, who's an Arizona native, will be like, oh, there's a mountain over there.
Yeah, 25 miles away.
I'm like,
that
what are you
mountain
talking about? What's that? Why does that mountain matter?
And the valley pole,
right?
Valley effect,
right? Or the vortex in Prescott.
That's a thing, and it's the same. I was kind of going down the road of your assessment with the line, and I had a similar conclusion to my own putting several years ago. That the more optical influence that I had, the more analytical I got with my putting stroke, and the less free I felt. And it got to the point to where I was so obsessed with routine and obsessing over making sure all of the lines were in line, I would fall in love with the line and totally just space cadet the speed. So the line would be great, but I'd hit it 6 feet past or leave it 6 feet short on a 12-foot putt.
That's interesting, yeah.
And I started doing a lot of testing for myself several years ago, and I found that for me, no line on the ball and only a small either fraction of a line or a dot on the top line close to the leading edge helped me just with a reference point more than anything else. And I had an old Spider Tour that was the Dustin Johnson when they first came out with that tour series. That was just a black matte canvas, no optics on it whatsoever. And I putted so well with that putter. And then I would rotate the ball to where it was just a blank white golf ball. And it was the easiest, most freeing experience for putting. And that for me has just kind of stuck for the putting routine for years now.
Yeah.
And no, like I said, curious to see what you come up with.
No, me too. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. I love those guys down there. They're always really, their hospitality is incredible. Their product is incredible. Ping is incredible. Their facilities is second to none. So I'm excited for it. But yeah. But speaking of putters,
Got to talk about grips.
got to talk about grips.
We got to talk about our friends at Golf Pride. So reverse taper putting grip. I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but they are sending us a bunch of grips. You're going to get to test reverse taper.
I didn't know they were sending us a bunch of grips. That's fun. I'm looking forward to testing them because
So-
you keep asking if I've tried it and I keep saying no.
And you keep saying no, you haven't tested it yet. I mean, so we're going to get some reverse tapers. We're going to get some different Golf Pride samples, and we're going to put you through a putter / grip fitting. So whatever you land on with Ping tomorrow, I'd be curious to do some testing with different grips and see if we can kind of fine tune that. As when you're looking at reverse taper, there is, I mean, so much importance and emphasis that we put on face control and facial awareness. And the reverse taper has a slim upper hand and larger lower hand, soft feel, enhanced tacky texture, and really helps to return that face to square more often than not. So once we get those grips in hand, want to put you through that fitting, see what works best for you, and hopefully you're going to hit this reverse taper grip and own that moment of impact, and maybe get down to that scratch index that you're looking for with the new Ping putter and the new reverse taper.
I'm down.
And make sure check out golfpride.com to learn more and also be able to own the moment of impact with that reverse taper grip.
Golf Pride, Golf Pride, Golf Pride.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that should be incorporated in every ad read we do.
I just created a drop for you.
That's perfect. I mean, that needs to be a meme in itself. Mark, we need a soundbite.
How's and what are you up to for the rest of the week? It's, what are you doing for the rest of the week? Much? Or are you just relaxing from your trip that you came back from?
No, buddy. There is no relaxing for me whatsoever.
Okay.
I mean, we are running at a full sprint at this point, getting ready for club test.
Yep.
So working with all of our OEMs. Actually, when we wrap up here, I'm heading over to PXG to pick up boxes upon boxes of new toys for us to test.
What are they? What are you obviously can't
Can't
say.
say.
Got it.
No, there's new toys coming.
Okay.
But I'm going to have a plethora of new toys for us to play with. And it's going to be pretty fun this year because we're expanding Club Test to basically encompass the entire year. So I have products coming for us to be able to take out on the golf course, actually put it in play, get out of the controlled laboratory environment.
Nice.
See what it does on the golf course. And I mean, hopefully, I'm anticipating us finding a couple of surprises out there that we weren't expecting.
Can't wait. I love testing shit. I think it's awesome.
Absolutely. And anytime you get to tinker and test with new toys, it's exciting. But Carlsbad trip coming up for us.
In like mid-December, I want to say.
Week of December 9th.
Week of December 9th. Should
So-
be fun. Should be exciting. I'm excited.
And the crew keeps growing. I mean, the talking to the OEM partners, talking to the guys at Golf, talking to the guys at TrueSpec. We have quite the crew going with us this year.
That's awesome.
And we've locked in all the major OEMs.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing a visit with our friends at Titleist over at TPI. Going to be going to see our friends at Cobra, Callaway, TaylorMade, Fujikura, KBS, Mitsubishi, and maybe a couple others that we get to sprinkle in there while we're out there.
Nice.
We're going to have an opportunity to play some golf at Goat Hill.
Okay.
So if you are a Southern California native, you know the cult following that Goat Hill has. Have you ever been?
Nope.
Ever been to the Goat?
Nope.
Oh, this is going to be a fun experience for you.
I can't wait. I
Goat
think it's going to be
Hill,
awesome. My wife is probably dreading it because I'll be gone for a week. But outside of that, I can't wait.
it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Goat Hill has like I said, almost a cult-like following. It's
Okay.
such a cool vibe. It's not I can't say it's not a nice golf course, but I can say it's a fun golf course.
Okay.
And I mean, you could go in your board shorts, have your dog, with you and playing.
That is my vibe. The whole, and we'll start getting into fashion as we go on because
Once we get me some new shoes.
They're freaking hideous, man. But once we do, once we start getting more into the season and what have you, I do want to start talking about fashion and footwear and kind of because that is equipment too. So I do want to start talking about that. But that is my vibe. I love wearing a pair of pants and a t-shirt when I'm playing golf.
There you go. Well, Goat Hill is the spot for you.
Yeah.
Callaway has a whole new slew of products coming for 25. TaylorMade's the same way. Cobra, also new line coming. And we're going to get to go, see it, hit it, test it. And, we're probably going to come back with blisters and sore backs and all the old man woes and aches and pains and things, which I cannot wait for.
Awesome.
So I'm stoked.
I can't wait. But, yeah. I really can't wait to go. I can't understate how much I can't wait to go. But anyway, I digress. So another show in the bag for us, mate.
That's it.
Really, really good time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Once again, we need to get to 20,000 subscribers so this man can grow out his Hulk Hogan hair.
Yes.
I would dare say that if we can get there by the end of the year, he'll do the moustache as well. So
what's the cap on this?
What do you mean?
When do we have to get to 20,000?
Just as soon as possible.
Soon as possible.
Yeah.
So this could
be take you about a year to grow your hair out.
This is going to be a campaign that's just ongoing. As soon as we hit 20, that's when we're starting.
Let's call it this way. And by end of February, if we don't have 20,000 subscribers by end of February, end of March, you choose. I'll let you choose because you're the one that has to rock the hairdo.
Okay.
Then we will cut it, and then all of our listeners and non-subscribers are the ones to blame for that.
That's fair. That's fair. Because I got to tell you, my wife is already stressing this bet.
Oh, good. And I can't wait. And I cannot wait for you to grow this hair. Anyway, guys, thank you again for having us and listening to us. So please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're not following us on our social channels, please do so. Kris, the names of our social channels are?
And we are at Fully Equipped Golf on Instagram and Fully_Equipped on X.
And just so you guys know, that took 17 takes for Kris just to get those 4 lines in there. So please don't cut that out, producer Mark, and make sure everyone knows that it took him 17 goes to get that.
I appreciate that. All of the anxiety with the social ask. So please, for all that is holy, just like the channels.
See you next week, guys. Peace.